Every generation finds a gap with the succeeding generation, and so far in business it hasn't mattered too much. Those crazy kids, they say, expecting that eventually this generation will shape up and fly right. However, in an aging society in Japan with a rapidly shrinking supply of young workers, the demographic challenge has real ramifications for bosses. Not being able to bridge the generation gap can banish bosses to a hell island where there is a constant struggle to recruit and retain young workers. Not understanding this new generation is an expensive exercise. Welcome back. This weekly edition every Monday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and two-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center in Akasaka in Minato-ku in Tokyo. This is the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can all be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. This is episode number 141. We are talking about new staff development challenges. So let's get going. Sakaiya Taichi is a well-known author and futurist, and he made an interesting observation about youth trends in Japanese society. He considered the wartime and early post-war generations of young people in Japan. In his view, Japan's youth of today have insufficient yoku, desire, yume, dreams, and yaruki, guts. Probably each generation and every society sees their succeeding generations as falling short, insufficient to the task, and taking the society to hell in a basket. What if he is right, though? What does this mean for business and for our companies if we are staffed by young people without these three whys? As leaders, how can we reverse this trend and produce more engaged teams? Is it too late already? Robotic Diligence has a strong pedigree in Japan. Retainers in samurai society were trained to be ready to die for their lord anywhere, anytime, for whatever reason. In the pre-war period, the majority of people lived in non-urban areas where agriculture was the main pursuit. This required you to pull your own weight and do your part as a member of the collective effort when planting and harvesting rice. The harshest punishment was ostracism, or murahachibu, which meant no cooperation from the group and possibly death as a result. I'm guessing hairy-chested individuals didn't do too well in agrarian communities in Japan. In the post-war period, previous firebombing of cities and industrial centers meant Japan had to drag itself up from the ashes of defeat, and a strong national unity was formed around doing just that. As Japan's GDP grew, salarymen, business people, would sacrifice their families for the company and proudly count off the leading economies Japan had surpassed as collective notches on the belt of a resurgent Japan. In the 1970s, I remember meeting Japanese business people who were visiting Australia, and they were so proud that Japan had knocked off the United Kingdom and Nippon had moved up a rank on the global GDP scoreboard. The 1985 Plaza Accord triggered the surge in the buying power of the yen and possibly the biggest global shopping spree ever seen on this planet. Japan was coined number one. When the bubble economy burst in 1989, Japan went into a slow decline and has been lurching along the bottom ever since. The Lehman shock in 2008, and then the triple whammy of earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear core meltdown in 2011 has underlined Japan's continuing fragility. The social contract was broken, and companies preferred to hire part-timers to enjoy the greatest flexibility to respond to future downturns. Company profits soared, and hoarding cash became de rigueur after the hammering meted out by the big banks in the early 90s. Prior to COVID-19, there was a move toward permanent hiring of part-time staff, as job offers were 1.6 times greater than the number of people looking for work. That has come to a shuddering halt. In all of this, though, employee wages have not moved much. Abenomics seems to have run out of gas. The roots of not much yoku, yume, and yaruki are now hard to find. Within 2 years after things calmed down from COVID-19, demographics will reassert itself once again, and it will create more pressure on companies to focus harder on recruiting and retaining their workers as the supply of young workers steadily reduces. The youth stimulus to desire and dream of a better future will only arise because company leadership recognises there is an issue in the first place. The expectation that this current generation will fit in like every preceding generation is leadership Japan's geriatric illusion. Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to become skilled at dealing with people, then sign up for the Dale Carnegie course. Fully road tested for the last 100 years. This course is super popular globally and in Japan too. We've been teaching this for over 50 years here. Improve your ability with people, really ramp up your communication and leadership skills, grow your confidence and end your stress. Contact us to do the Dale Carnegie course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. The younger generation will need a lot more conversations about their future prospects inside the company than their current aging bosses ever received from their superiors. Keeping your head down and just working 14, 15 hours a day doesn't cut it anymore as a career plan. The young people want praise and feedback to give them confidence to step up and take responsibility. The old-style boss luxury of screaming at staff when they made a mistake will no longer be available. COVID-19 won't last forever. Going into the future, the young will simply leave and get a job elsewhere if they are not happy with their boss or the company. Not delegating work to the younger team members and thereby not enabling them to gain experience so that they can position themselves to step up into higher levels of authority won't cut it either. Disorganized, time mismanaging bosses who think it is easier if I do it myself will find it is not easier, as they spend time and treasure to replace a much more mobile youth workforce. Coaching and mentoring skills are going to be going at a premium as leaders are sought out who can develop future leaders, retain the best talent, and leverage the ideas, insights, and innovations of those at the bottom, those closest to the action. Yelling out orders is not coaching, although that would be news to a lot of Japanese bosses. Our research has shown that apart from the obvious employee relationship with their immediate supervisor as a key driver of engagement in staff, the other two drivers are belief in the direction senior management are taking the company and pride in the organisation. These last two are communication necessities. If current leaders think these are obvious truths in no need of elucidation, then they are in for a sad business future. The young will depart in droves for greener grass competitors. Take a good hard look at your middle managers and senior leaders. Do they get it? Are they able to encourage the young to see a future with the firm and to not think they have to leave in order to advance in their career? Are they competent communicators, able to get across the key messages required? If they are not fully capable, we had better get busy retraining them for the brave new world just around the corner. Their job one is to create a youth culture of yoku, yume, and yaruki inside the organisation. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube. Share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember, hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now. enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It's awesome value, so check it out. Also, please leave me some feedback on YouTube. I would love to know how this show has helped and what other topics you are interested in for me to cover. Remember, I'm here as a free resource to help you. So just tell me how I can help you best. You might also enjoy my other weekly shows for podcasts. Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesdays for the Presentations Japan series. Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series. Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series. And Fridays for the Japan Business Mastery Show. You get these wherever you normally get your podcasts. Also, on Fridays, I release my TV show, the Japan Business Mastery Show. That's on YouTube. And also on Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. In episode 142, we are talking about elegantly accepting your kudos. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you. I've only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.